Sometimes it's really interesting to realize how fucked up American policies are, and then on top of it, how manipulated Americans are into perpetuating the system that oppresses and exploits them. And I'm going to show you some statistics to sort of show you why this is so fucked up. So the US remains the only high-income country lacking universal health insurance coverage. The only one. Let's see how we compare to many of the top performing countries. So here we are, dead last. And this line is how much we spend on healthcare. We spend more and we perform less. See, healthcare performance compared to spending. Everyone is in this nice little group. There we are, dead last. Affordability, dead last. Equity, dead last. You know what we outperform everyone on? Maternal mortality. Look at us go.
It's really hard to encapsulate just how much the United States lags behind the rest of the developed world, but this video did a good job touching on some of those areas. From income inequality to the lack of a universal healthcare system to the way that manifests in worse outcomes in our healthcare system. Across the board, the United States looks pathetic compared to its developed counterparts.
And you know how a lot of those conservative policies try to push the protection of the traditional family and family values? Well, do we promote any policies that maybe allow parents to stay at home with their newborn children? Oh, look at that. Other countries have mandatory paid leave, and the US has absolutely none. So where are those family values that we're promoting, or are we just continuing to exploit our citizens? The US is the only high-income country that does not guarantee paid leave to mothers after childbirth. The only ones. The only ones. Do we possibly know some of the strategies utilized by the top performing countries in healthcare and wellness? Oh, look at that. You can pause to read, but universal coverage might be one of them, and I really wonder which political party promotes the things that have been shown to be successful. It's a real head scratcher.
And you have to ask yourself why. One of the reasons is capitalism. Explicitly, we have to name that. And when you have a system that prioritizes profit over people, this is going to be the outcome. You're going to have a scenario where people in power turn a blind eye to a high mortality rate when people are giving birth. You're going to have a system where people turn a blind eye to people dying every year from preventable deaths because they don't have health insurance. You're going to have a system where CEOs make a disproportionate amount to workers at companies. That should not surprise anyone when we have a system that prioritizes profit over people. So you have to name that at the outset. But beyond that, you have to look at why this continues to happen. Why do these problems continue to get worse? Why is money continuing to flow to the top? And that's just because of the money in politics. When you have a system where people are putting profit over people, and those companies continue to amass more and more wealth, and then we allow unrestricted flows of corporate money into the coffers of campaigns and super PACs, they're going to do those corporations' bidding. They're not going to listen to the average worker. The average worker can't donate hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to campaigns. So those people are going to listen to corporations. So one of the ways we can fix this beyond restructuring our economy away from a pure unbridled capitalist one is to get money out of politics. We have to ban corporate super PACs. We have to abolish that whole structure entirely. It is so easy to exploit.
Any politician or public figure that tries to convince you that our economy cannot provide basic needs to its citizens is lying to you and manipulating you. And if you follow the money, you'll realize that our system has policies that allow the pay ratio between CEOs and workers to be almost double the normal ratios in other developed countries. And this means that wealth is being funneled out of the pockets of the exploited lower and middle class and into the pockets of the corporate elite. Leftist policies do not promote laziness, they promote equality and equity.
And one of the issues she didn't mention, but I would be remiss if I didn't bring up, because I'm recording this on May 24th, 2022. And earlier today, someone went inside Robb Elementary School in Texas and shot and killed, right now, 20 people. That number has continued to grow throughout the day. So we might see an even higher death toll. And that, I think, is something that really encapsulates just how much money influences our politics for negative outcomes. The NRA has spent millions and millions and millions bankrolling candidates who will do their bidding in Congress because they ultimately serve the interests of the gun manufacturers. They're a lobbying group, effectively, on behalf of the gun industry. And gun sales have continued to skyrocket. We're in a record year for gun sales. And we also are the only country where mass shootings occur on almost a daily basis. And in any other country, if you had someone go into an elementary school and shoot and kill dozens of children and teachers, you would see immediate and swift action to make sure a tragedy like that never occurs again. But somehow in the United States, enough people in power have enough corporate backing from the gun lobby that they don't do anything and they stand in the way of progress. They block comprehensive reform, and this is the outcome. We can't be surprised when this continues to happen, when this is our system. So taking on capitalism and taking on money in politics is the only way to stop this.